When you've tasted that before and you know what it feels like and you know what it looks like and all that kind of stuff, it's much different from it being your first time getting hit with that kind of power, your first time seeing that kind of speed and that kind of the overall makeup of a Tank Davis is surprising to most fighters. It won't be surprising to Lamont Roach. And Lamont is a DMV fighter himself, which means he got that dog, you know? It's gonna be
up until the body shot.
Right.
So I feel like with Lamont, it was still like Tank in one of them other fights where it's like, this is a good fight.
Yeah,
you know, they both grew up in DC. He been in the ring with Tank. He got that like attitude where it's like, you can't go back to the block if you let boy do something to you.
Right.
Like, so like, I knew that it could be a good fight, but I'm still like, nah, Tank gonna beat him. When I got in the arena, it wasn't a surprise because it's like I said, I know what Lamont come with.
Right.
It just was, he just showed what I thought could possibly happen. But if Tank would have beat him easier, it never been a surprise.
Right. So who did you think won the fight?
A draw. I say it over and over. I don't think Lamont did enough to for them to raise his hand and take Tank reputation.
The boxing community is divided and buzzing over Gervonta. Davis and Lamont, Roach's rematch.
For them to raise his hand and take Tank reputation, everything that Tank built.
Taking a knee, you felt that should have been called a knockdown?
Yes, it should have been called a knockdown for sure. I've never seen that in boxing, but you do gotta realize though, like in boxing, if a guy if something wrong with you, something getting your cup, something is like fucking up with you, how do you take a pause in the action?
In amateurs, you could do that.
Tank probably thought hold up, let me take a step back. Hold up, but you know.
It is what it is.
And if it was somebody else, they would have counted though, I believe.
While some believe Tank will emerge from the rematch as a far more polished version of himself, others believe Roach is simply a stylistically poor fight for Davis. Anthony Darrell has now offered his thoughts on the bout, stating that he expects Roach to maintain his strong performance in the rematch, but thinks Davis will be much better. However, Darrell informed YSM Sports Media that he is supporting Davis to finish the job.
After that, we have the rematch of Tank versus Roach. You saw the first fight. How did you score that first fight?
It was a close fight. Since the knockdown is no draw, I mean, it was a draw. You got to give it the draw, but I think Tank can come in a little different, but I think Roach will still be there to counter him and do everything, but I think Tank can pull out the victory.
Do you think Tank has more to prove because of what...
Ended in a tie after a close battle. Tank would be a little odd, but you had to give it a shot.
But I think Roach will still be there to counter him and do everything, but I think Tank can pull out the victory.
Do you think Tank has more to prove because of what everybody was saying about him, that he did take a knee, that he should have been counted as a knockdown, he should have lost that fight? Do you think Tank has more to prove?
No, I don't think he got what to prove. What he proven? He ain't lose.
Good.
Yeah, he ain't lose.
Anything else you got to say to the fans?
Nah.
Arvone, Tate Tank Davis, remains one of boxing's most electrifying talents, boasting an impressive 32-0 record with 28 wins by knockout. Lamont Roach, his recent opponent, holds a solid 25-1 record with 10 knockouts. Few know the challenge Davis presents in the ring better than Frank Martin, who faced him in June of the previous year. Both fighters entered that bout undefeated, but Davis secured a dominant victory with an 8th-round knockout. Many observers regard that performance as perhaps the best of Davis's career, showcasing his power, timing, and ring IQ at their peak. That bout was Davis's last before stepping into the ring against Roach. Interestingly, fans and analysts noted a stark contrast between the two performances. While still effective, Davis displayed a different style and energy against Roach, compared to his explosive showing against Martin. Despite the change, Davis remains the reigning WBA lightweight champion and a formidable force.
With the same people, it kind of was more of the fight was more of like I feel like so Roach came out and fought his best fight that he could possibly fight, right? Against Tank. He came out with his A game, boom. And I feel like Tank came in that fight not underestimating Roach, but more like we got history. I know what he like, both of them basically, but Roach is gonna automatically have more of a little spark because he tried to get that spot. And Tank probably just like, I know you. I'ma do what I want to do to you. I'ma do what I.
In a June 9th interview with Fight Hype, Martin shared his thoughts on the first fight between Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach, as well as the upcoming rematch. Reflecting on their initial bout, Martin described it as competitive. Roach came out and fought the best fight he could possibly fight against Tank, he said. He brought his A game, and I don't think Tank underestimated him, but there was definitely some familiarity there, like we've got history. I know what he likes. Martin suggested that Tank didn't fight with full intensity in the first matchup. I feel like Tank fought that fight more relaxed, not really trying. To get him out of there, he wasn't fully pressing, Martin explained. Looking ahead to the rematch, Martin predicted a more aggressive approach from Davis. I think the rematch is still going to be a good fight, he said. But I think Tank may get him up out. There this time, even with the knockdown and everything that happened, I feel like Tank's going to turn up in this next one. He expects a sharper, more focused Tank in the rematch.
I feel like the draw was cool, but with him taking the knee, like I say, Tank. You know, like they gonna give it to their man. They gonna give it to the guy with who bringing in all the money. But it was a close fight overall. But the rematch, I feel like Tank gonna do. He gonna turn up on this next one.
You think he was locked in more with you than Roach, or you think it was kind of?
For sure. Hell yeah. I feel like he was a lot more locked in with me than Roach. Roach a good fighter.
Boxing world is buzzing with anticipation as the rematch between WBA super featherweight champion Lamont Roach Jr. and WBA lightweight title holder Gervonta Tank Davis draws closer. Originally scheduled for June 21st, the bout has now been pushed to August 16, 2025, in Las Vegas. Though the official venue hasn't been announced, insiders expect either the T-Mobile Arena or the MGM Grand Garden Arena to host the high stakes. Showdown, their first professional clash back on March 1st in New York, ended in a controversial majority decision draw. A result that stunned fans and stirred debate. Roach, long seen as the underdog, nearly pulled off a historic upset. He pushed Davis to the limit, showcasing heart, resilience, and tactical discipline that few had ever managed against the explosive Baltimore native. A major point of contention remains the 9th round incident, where Davis dropped to one knee and retreated to his corner for his face to be wiped in, act well outside the rules. Shockingly, no penalty was issued. Many believe that moment cost Roach a well-deserved victory. Fueling the hype further is a newly surfaced training clip of Roach Jr. posted by FightHub TV on Instagram. The video shows Roach working the heavy bag with crisp footwork, sharp movement, and precise combinations, signaling his continued improvement since their first bout. While some fans see this as proof that Roach is ready to seize the crown, others believe Davis, who has twice defeated Roach in their amateur days, remains the superior fighter. Despite Davis's track record and knockout power, Roach's evolution cannot be ignored. The first fight proved he belongs on boxing's biggest stage. Whether Davis had an off night or Roach exposed weaknesses in the champion's game is still up for debate. But one thing is clear: Roach has earned his second shot as August 16th approaches. The tension is mounting. Can Lamont Roach Jr. finish what he started and dethrone Tank Davis? Or will Davis reassert his dominance and silence the doubters once and for all? One thing's certain: the boxing world will be watching closely.
Rematch that you fought.
0.
What do you have to do to create enough separation where this don't happen again?
Whew, it's a good question. It's going to be based on my training camp. I have to push myself a little harder. If that didn't get me the win, And I have room. I definitely have room. I'm not gonna lie, I have room.
You believe you fought the best Gervonta, or do you think he got some more gears?
100% for a fact. I think he might have some more gears, but I fought the best Gervonta that night.
Despite the controversy. And Roach Jr.'s heroic attempt, public opinion, is still very much in Davis's favor this time. Many believe that Gervonta Davis will dominate the rematch and make a big impression. You'd think that fans would be apprehensive about the rematch given the circumstances of the first fight, yet the attitude on the internet was quite different. Roach's training video didn't seem to have any effect on one user. "That's a cool tank in 9, it said. However, Davis's power shots didn't affect Roach last time, so what's the guarantee that they will this time? This user, meanwhile, anticipated Davis's victory despite admitting that Roach Jr. had become a fan.
I don't want people to get it misconstrued or whatever the case may be. He's a hell of a fighter. Hell of an IQ, great punching power, good speed, and a really good boxing ability. A lot of people underrate that. Don't think because of what I did, y'all think y'all can just go in there and think y'all can have the same night, you know what I'm saying, or do the same thing. He still will go upside your head and crack you, and you know what I'm saying, you might end up on the floor. Everybody not built. That's what people get it messed up. He did a whole lot of things that was good in that fight. A whole lot. And I'm telling you right now, if he wasn't as good of a fighter as he was, that would have been, you know what I'm saying? I would have steamrolled him. Don't get that misconstrued. He's still the guy he is. It's just he ran into a guy that's